The report used at the 2026 annual town meeting can be found by going to the town's website, clicking on News 2025 Annual Town Report. Page 47 of that report has the budget for the General Government Department. Page 57 of this report has the warrant article in which this budget is being voted on. This warrant article had about 12 minutes of discussion during the meeting.
Article 5. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for the general government department of the town for the ensuing year. And there are a bunch of numbers here, and I will read them. General government department budget, $318,738. Appropriate from the following revenues: building permit fees, $3,000. Town office, post office lease, $32,500. Tree growth reimbursement, $75,000. Agent fees, $3,500. Interest income, $3,000. Anticipated revenues, that commitment including excise tax, park fees, and it goes on, homestead exemptions, etc., $100,390. Balance to be raised for this department would be $101,348. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Is there any discussion?
I just have a question.
Yes, Ian.
What's the agent fee?
I'm sorry?
What's agent fee?
The fees that we get for agents for doing motor vehicles, registrations, and
Gotcha.
fisheries and wildlife folks, all of those.
Gotcha, thank you.
Generally, like when you register a car, there's like a $3
Yeah.
agent fee.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions? Over here, is it Lisa? I see your hand. Oh,
I'm behind the pole. I would like to make a motion that we increase line number 10 under the payroll for town clerk by $3,200. The reason for this would be, as we know, Carol is retiring at the end of the year. She works 35 hours per week. This would give her replacement up to 4 weeks to be trained by Carol for the position of town clerk, and that was not included in the budget request. So my motion is to add $3,200 to the payroll of the town clerk on line 10.
this is an amendment to the main motion. Sean?
I'm happy to amend my motion. I'm just trying to figure out where that is exactly and what's printed in the warrant.
On page 45.
Oh, sorry, yeah, page 45. So that would, the total would be $25,200.
$25,200 would be the total.
And how would that change Article 5?
Sorry, what was that? Oh, Article 5.
In other words, where would the $2,500 come from?
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Yes, Lori.
Number one, what was the amount, Lisa?
$3,200.
Okay, so I think that the total, 3,200, so the total would be what, 30, 221, 321,938 would be the total amount. And then you have Sean month, if you would have to add that 3,200 to the amount to be raised. The total would be 104,548.
And I'm happy to amend my motion to reflect those new numbers.
Second. Moved and seconded. Does everybody understand what we're doing? Any other questions or comments? Yes, yes.
So the total budget would be 321,938 with 104,548 to raise.
I believe that is correct, 104, yes. I did the math in my head. Don't count on it being correct. All right. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor, raise your slip. Oops. All right.
Sorry, I changed a little bit.
Yeah, Mr. Moderator, I have questions. I'd like some clarification on a couple of line items in the budget for general government. Line item 100-22 is for assessments, and that amount has increased from $17,000 to $24,000. And I'd like to know what has caused that increase in the budget for an assessment. Also, line 162 is legal fees, and there's a request for $20,000. Last year, the report reflects that we spent $3,674, and I'd like an explanation of why we need $20,000 in the budget for legal fees.
Could someone answer that question, Mr. Dowd? Thank you, Mr. Microphone. Not nearly as cute as the ones we have before. Thank you.
I'm happy to answer the one for legal. I think the budget committee might be able to answer the assessment more clearly because they worked very hard on this budget this whole year. The legal fees is, you're correct that last year we only used 3,600 or whatever it was, even though we had 10,000 budgeted. A lot of that was because I personally did the work along with Dirk Walker, my husband, who is also a retired attorney, for a lot of the ordinance drafting and whatnot. We did not have that many contracts to draft, and the anticipated projects that we thought we were going to do, which is tackle more ordinances, we didn't really tackle that many more. This increase in budget ask is also because we're anticipating getting more bond loans for the fire station project, which you were about to review. That will, taking a bond usually is about $5,000 each for each time we have a loan. We're also anticipating also getting loans for the bridges. So that will be another $5,000, which is why the budget is increasing that to that. That doesn't mean the spend will be that much, depending on what it is. But we only come to you once a year to ask for this, and we want it to be complete.
Yes.
Yeah. I look back at the town reports, in the past 4 years, we haven't spent $20,000 combined in 4 years on legal fees. So I understand that there may be some additional fees this year, but I don't see a need for $20,000. And could we get an explanation on the increase in the assessing fee?
Does anybody have an answer? Yes.
On the assessment, the $4,500 increase was from the J. O'Donnell assessment. His price went up $4,500, and we got that bill late, so.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned legal fees.
The budget's asking for $7,000 more, and can you explain why there's a $4,500 increase in the fee for O'Donnell? That seems like a pretty steep jump.
I don't have that statement with me on the.
That is just the ask that they have, but that's their new bill.
that's gonna be reoccurring every year, and sometimes there's an increase. We got blindsided by that. We got the bill late, and
Mike Grant.
This has been a pet peeve of mine for years. We're paying O'Donnell $17,000, now we're paying $24,000. And next year, he's looking to get 100 and some odd thousand reassessed. If he's done a good job in the first place, we're gonna have to be reassessed. And next year, the next 2 years, it's a terrible time to have a reassessment because prices are extremely high. And the state is trying to do all they can to create more housing. And when that gets done, prices are going to drop drastically. And we're going to just get on total recession. And all our house prices are going to be way up. And house prices are going to drop. And we're going to have to go through another reassessment because we're going to be way over recession. If Donald did his job, you could do it by taking care of new customers, new buildings and so on, and everything else you could do by doing some assessments on how much his price has gone up. If the prices on the lake have gone up by 10%, then you increase everybody that's on the lake by 10%. If the land has gone up by 5%, then you increase everybody by 5%, and you wouldn't have this problem. Thank you.
Yes. Could somebody clarify what our surplus is and how much of that we can use?
I believe we can. Lori, I think you raised your hand. Do you have that number?
Yes, I do. It's close to 600,000, 592, 744, 21, I believe, which I will be speaking to later. In speaking with the moderator ahead of time and a couple other people, we probably should have 3 months expenses on hand in that account.
We have close to 600,000 in surplus, just under 600,000. And the guys in the 3-piece suits tell us we should have roughly 3 months worth of surplus for the operation of the account. Any other comments? Questions? Concerns? Yes, I'm sorry.
Tom, we can't hear you back here, and I think maybe your microphone is off, hopefully.
I don't know. You hear that?
There's a button to slide.
Speak right into them.
How's that? Is that better?
No.
Maybe it's that little black button makes it ring. All right. Any other questions, comments? Yes.
What is the assessment of? I don't understand why we're paying this lawyer to do what?
This is they, every 10 years or so, they're required to do a reassessment. In other words, value everybody's town. The state assessors, the town hires an assessor to value your home, my home, everybody's home. See if it's a fair value. That's what it is.
Can we clarify?
Evelyn, back here we have a comment from the select board table.
I'd like to clarify that. This is not anything to do with the evaluation. This is just the assessment cost we have to pay every year to an assessor because it's legally required that the town assess the values of homes for tax purposes every year. So new buildings that come up, that's the fee that, because they're a professional assessor, we hire them to do that assessment. And that's just the regular assessment.
Do we shop for those people, or are they just
So there are limited, yes, we definitely shop for those people. I have to say, assessors around the state of Maine are few and far between right now. We have tried to look for others, but quite honestly, there just aren't any available. We will still look for that, but they provide assessing service for 20, 30 towns in our county.
There are a number of, there are.
Right, evaluation is a different line item, even, this is on page 44 of the town report, and that's line item 100 operations 21 evaluation. That will be a separate article later. This is just the general fees for this year's budget. That makes sense.
Any other questions? Yes,
I can wait.
back here in the back.
Dan Smith, Maple Lane. I'd like to clarify, did we have a penalty on our homestead exemption because we're more than 10 years? So I just want people to realize, you start getting penalized also if you don't have current assessment. State tries to hold you to the fire. So all of a sudden your homestead exemption goes down. I did notice a little tweak, and I thought that's the reason I heard. So I just want people to take that into account, that you can be affected in other ways if you don't have assessment. Correct.
Any other thoughts? In the back.
So the homestead exemption for last year was $25,000, but we only get $17,000 because of our evaluation.
Questions, comments, further comments? I do not see any. Last comments? All right. We have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. All those in favor, raise your slip. Yes, we're voting on it as amended. It was moved and seconded, and we discussed the amended amount. Sean amended his original motion. Okay, everybody happy so far?
Yes.
Once again, all those in favor of the amount as amended, raise your hand. All those opposed, raise yours. It is very evident, it is a yes. So vote.